So close to demonstrating violence, trying to run away from sirens, in search of somewhere safe and quiet. If only you could hear the fucking things inside my head. So close to demonstrating violence, trying to run away from sirens, in search of somewhere safe and quiet. If only you could hear the fucking things inside my head. Painting pictures, only missing what you've lost, giving everything you have, but it's just short of the cost. Diabolical, straightens up your mental, makes you strong, and it fucks your trust issues. Hate to say I proved you wrong. You can run and scream and hide away, there's no escaping night and day. You'll never see it coming, won't commit to see the child's play. You'll see a different side of me, the reason it still hibernates is for your own protection. I'm too scared to see the beast I've made. We created it, we never look back. Matter of fact, shut your mouth, don't come at me with that. Your lack of context is causing conflict, that's a fact. See you trying to change the subject, I'm not trying to forget. I'll forgive, but you'll never get the fucking chance again. We're not friends, there's no interest in making those amends. It depends on whether I feel like breaking necks. Must be a lucky day, cause I ain't got no time for that, yeah. So close to demonstrating violence, trying to run away from sirens, in search of somewhere safe and quiet. If only you could hear the fucking things inside my head. So close to demonstrating violence, trying to run away from sirens, in search of somewhere safe and quiet. If only you could hear the fucking things inside my head. Taking over like it's army paper soldiers. Ain't gold you wish you would, shit's been harder than I'm hopeful. Went from open, getting closer, now I'm searching for some closure. Cause no matter how it gets, it's never worth it in the moment. Damn, running it back, one and the same, not a fact, we different. Under the stacks, numbing your brain, it's just sad to witness. What's the price to pay, taking a stab when I said mind your business. Now I get to snap, smiling face, you think it's Christmas. Never had a better time with losing my mind. I keep it locked and tucked away, nobody in or outside, and that's intentional. Environment with ethanol, I'll never fold, cause when I light it up, the flame is brightest inside, yeah. So close to demonstrating violence, trying to run away from sirens, in search of somewhere safe and quiet. If only you could hear the fucking things inside my head. So close to demonstrating violence, trying to run away from sirens, in search of somewhere safe and quiet. If only you could hear the fucking things inside my head.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hello, Crystal. Hello, Torrin Alfredson. Don't know who you are, but welcome. First time seeing you. So, how's everybody doing this evening? How's everybody's beginning of the week? Today is Monday. Today is the beginning of the work week for a lot of people.
Are you through?
So,
are you like on his?
You know, with everything going on,
you should be okay.
I'm going to just calm down with a bunch of stuff for now.
Let me see.
I
see it. Okay.
Like I said, tonight's Hello Scorpio. I'm not going to really talk about the YouTube streets right now. I'm going to get into a little bit of addiction. Addiction is a very, very serious thing. There's a lot of people that are addicted to a lot of different things. It just doesn't have to be drugs. It just doesn't have to be alcohol. It could be gambling. It could be shopping. It could be, purchasing certain things and having a stockpile. It's called hoarding, more or less. Okay. But it's an addiction.
She's going to send it, and then I'm going to send it to your email.
So,
go.
I was addicted to alcohol.
Excuse me, big man.
That is a very, very strong addiction. Okay. I have alcoholism that runs on both sides of the family, both sides of my family. I'm not ashamed to admit it. But I'm sober. I've been sober for a little bit over 7 months, actually 7 months and 3 days. I feel good about it. I feel good about myself. I see myself getting more things accomplished more and more every day. I attend my meetings. I run my own NA group. I go to groups during the day and meetings at night. So I'm a very busy person, which I got to take advantage of that as of right now, because probably within the next few weeks, I'll be back to work full bore. So needless to say, I may not be able to attend my groups as much as I want, but I should be able to attend my meetings at night. Um, but it is what it is. I'm not going to let it affect my sobriety by any means. You know, um, multiple people on here know the story about my daughter. Um, yes, she is addicted to drugs. Um, I'm in the midst of trying to get her the best help that I possibly can. I'm trying to get her into a rehab, you know. It's very bad for her because it doesn't help that she's on parole, um, which that's her doing. You know, she got herself in trouble, you know, but I will try to get her the help while she's out. But you have to also want it. If you don't want the help and if you don't want to become sober and clean, then it's not going to work. Um, I woke up one morning and I just said, I've had enough. I'm good. Yes, I get what they call Vivitrol. It's a shot. I get it once a month. It takes the cravings away, which I have not have had no cravings at all. They say the last 2-3 days, maybe 4 days, you'll get a craving or an urge or whatever the case may be. They give you pills for it for the last couple days before you get your next shot. I am one of the lucky ones. I have not had to take in those pills because I have not had the craving or the urge or anything like that. Oh yes, Crystal, it does. It affects the whole family. You know, um, my alcohol. You know, me being an alcoholic, I'm sure it affected. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything. I'm sure it took a toll on my marriage. I was married for 23 years. As I'm telling my sons, my boys, what's going on, angry little beaver? As I'm telling my boys about the drinking and driving, not to do it, I'm showing them the total opposite. I'm showing them that it's okay for dad to do it, but you can't do it. I was wrong for that. I'm sure everybody on here, can sit there and say, I wish I could go back in time because there'd be a lot of things I would change. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd change a lot of shit. Hello, Gene. And that's another thing, the opioids. Opioids is a big thing. And luckily the shot that I'm on takes care of the opioid also. But I never did that. I never took pills or anything like that. I don't like the feeling of I can't even, I'll deal with a headache before I even take an aspirin, Tylenol, Motrin, whatever. I don't like the feeling of the pills being in my mouth. I don't like it. One thing I found that when I was drinking, if I drank, once I got past that 12-pack, I was going for the white powder stuff. And the thing is, wait a minute. And the thing is, when I'm not drinking, when I did drink, I didn't want it. I didn't want that white powdery substance. So, people will come out and say to me that I can still do cocaine while being on the shot? Yes, you can. I agree with you 150%. Yes, you can. You're not going to get high. It's not going to have any effect on you. So, what's the sense of wasting money on a drug that you're not going to get high from? That'd be like you smoking marijuana with no THC in it. Are you going to get high? No. No. You know, so it all comes down to when you're ready and what you're willing to do to become sober. You know, I could never become a heroin addict. I could never sit there and put a needle in my arm or in any part of my body. I don't like needles. I don't like going to the doctor and getting blood drawn. I hesitate every once a month when I got to go get my shot, but I go get it done. You know, yes, people probably look at me like I'm fucking whack because I'm loaded with tattoos. That's the difference. I can sit down in a tattoo artist chair and have them tattoo me for 8, 9, 10, 12 hours. Get up and walk out and it doesn't faze me. But it's a different type of pain too, you know. But yes, I was addicted. I was addicted to alcohol. I've been drinking ever since I was at the age of 13. You know, I always wanted to be. I was an avid dirt bike rider, 4-wheeler, 3-wheeler, snowmobiles, boating, all kinds of stuff. You know, so I hung around with. I have 2 older cousins that are older than me, and my uncles. So I was always around my 2 older cousins, friends, of course, you know, and then my uncles, you know. So it was a big thing going out on the bikes, dirt bikes and stuff, going down to the old airport. You know, we had this old airport that we used to ride on. It had, you know, it was by the river. You know, we used to camp out down there every weekend. And what did you do? Smoked weed and partied, drank, you know. But I can sit here and honestly say I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I'm a lot better person without the alcohol in my life.
I'm just in the kitchen because he's on the live.
You know, I think what I did miss in the beginning, I think, was the feeling of having something in my hand, you know.
Oh my God, this works there. It's those baskets.
And
those baskets, and then I have
having that feeling. I don't miss the taste. I don't miss the taste of alcohol. Well, yeah, you have to, September. You have to, you know. Very luckily, you know, my kids didn't get that habit of, you know, of drinking. Like I said, my oldest daughter, of course, is, you know, her things were, you know, drugs, you know. And like I said, I'm trying to get her help. I'm trying to get her the best help I can. It just takes time. Okay, my son, my youngest son, he smokes weed. I have no problem with that. Weed has grown naturally on this earth for many, many, many years before we were even thought of. You know, my great grandmother was a full 100% Indian. That's what she smoked. You know. And then when she lost her husband, which was my great grandfather, she became a full-blown alcoholic. She lost her kids. My grandfather, God rest his soul, was in and out of foster homes. He ended up joining the Merchant Marines when he was 15, 16 years old. His 16th birthday, I believe he was in Africa. So, you know, and then he came home, he met my grandmother, and he got married, and he started a family, you know, so he had 8 children of his own. But, you know, alcohol, you know, I can sit here and say that alcohol led me to a lot of other things. I don't see nothing wrong with smoking marijuana. I used to smoke it years ago. I gave that up. I gave up a lot of shit when my oldest daughter was born, and she's going to be 35. You know, I just didn't give up the drinking. You know, alcohol, yes, alcohol slowly killed your father. Yeah, I know. I mean, I watched my uncle, my one uncle, his eyes were yellow, his skin was yellow. I mean, he drank, I mean, for as long as I can remember, you know. He worked the railroad, and, you know, back then in them days, if you didn't smoke weed or drink, you didn't get hired on the railroad, you know. If my grandfather was still here, he'd tell you the same story, you know. My grandfather had his own business, a flooring business, a very, very well established flooring business, to where he did big contracts, commercial contracts for state trooper training facilities, their offices, GE, which is General Electric. He had a big contract with a mobile home manufacturer. So he did a lot of entertaining. He would have big clam bakes, big cookouts. He had a bocce ball pit made in his backyard, and a shuffleboard. You know, he had concrete poured and a shuffleboard done, and I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. He had a bar built in his backyard. You know, Bandit.
She would make sure he didn't do anything.
You know, so I mean, my grandfather was a very, very, he was a good man. Yeah, he drank. And if he was here, he would tell you that he was an alcoholic, but he was a good man. He was by far, he was not an abusive man. We always knew as kids growing up, to where if we wanted to get something from Grandpa, we waited for him to get a few Genesee ales in him, you know. Hello, Selena. But, you know, but I also remember many, many times of my grandfather not drinking, you know, going out on the boat, leaving with him at 5 o'clock in the morning, going on the boat, going fishing all day, tubing, you know, going across the river to the big beaches and doing big cookouts and swimming and all that, you know. But addiction is a very, very serious thing, you know, and I see it every day. I see it every day. I really seriously feel bad for people that are addicted that can't kick it, you know, because it's just not, you know, the alcohol, but okay, you're hooked on heroin, you're hooked on meth. Okay, you want to get off that. Well, what do they give you? They give you Suboxone, methadone. Yes, it helps you kick the addiction of your drug, but now you're addicted to something else. I see it every day. The place where I go for my groups during the day is a clinic, is a methadone clinic also. And I mean, just seeing the people that walk in this place, even under the influence and they still dose. It's like they don't care if they overdose. I mean, I've been there to where the doors have been locked, the blue lights have been on, and they've had overdoses on the 5th floor and the 4th floor. You know, because it's these type of people that don't they want that high. My paternal papa was bad, but quit when us grandkids were very young. That's good, Gene. That's very good. You know, my grandfather quit too. My grandfather quit. I mean, he had, before he passed, like I said, God rest his soul, because he'd be very proud of me. I mean, I know he's looking down on me right now, you know, saying, you know, that's, you know, because I carry on his name. He would be. He would be very proud of me because he always told us kids, even growing up, not to drink. You know, so when we became adults, you know, and we'd have big get-togethers and everything, you know, it was pretty fucked up, really, you know, sitting in the backyard and having a beer with my grandfather. You know, it was nice because it was my grandfather, but in the same sense, I shouldn't be drinking with my grandfather. You know, I know a lot of people do, and they're okay with that. One thing I can sit here and honestly say, I never smoked a cigarette in front of my grandmother, my father's mother, or my mother's mother.
Because he was scared.
I was scared. You know, especially my mother's mother, because I was her firstborn grandchild. In her eyes, I could do nothing wrong. You know, but I wasn't an easy child growing up either. You know, between skipping school, taking off all the time, not coming home, hanging with the wrong crowd, the wrong people, doing shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing. It got me taken away. It got me taken away from my mother and father. I was put in an all boys maximum secure facility for boys from the age of 15, well, just about 16 until I was almost 18. I got released 2 months before I turned 18. Did I learn? No. I was almost 19 and I had to go to jail. You know, so you live and learn, I guess. You know, sometimes it's better late than never. I just wish I quit drinking many, many years ago. Because I'm sure it did put a strain on my marriage. You know, me not giving two shits. You know, I figured, you know, I worked every day. I made money. I made my own money. Yes, I did pay bills with my wife at the time. Absolutely. My kids were grown. I just, you know, did what I wanted to do. Was it fair to my wife at the time? No. Scorpio's back in here?
She was. I just.
I was going to say. I thought.
Okay.
I thought I seen her.
I'm behind.
I thought I seen her. But you know, I'm sure I was probably the major cause of my separation with my wife. You know, yes, I've been divorced for almost 4 years now. You know, but it is what it is. I can't change. I can't change it. I can't cry over spilt milk. I have to move on. I have to become better. I have to show people and prove to people that I'm a better person. Can you picture me doing a YouTube live under the influence? No. As a matter of fact, ask Andrew. Ask Elisa. You know how many times I wanted to throw Andrew's computer out the window? And it was Andrew's computer. Not mine. It was Andrew's. You know, my grandson's dad has struggles all his life, started at 14. Yes, listen, let me tell you something. They sit there and they say that cocaine, meth, heroin, pill addiction they're very, very hard to kick. And I'm sure they are. I'm not disagreeing. But they say alcoholism is one of the hardest. Because I know a guy, he's a very, very good friend of mine. He worked for a derailment company, which took care of derailments for the railroad. They were doing a job. They got called out. They were doing a job. Well, where he was standing, a car came up over the hump, and it comes down the track, and it separates. They have levers up there to where it separates the cars to go, okay, this one's got to go to Mass, or these so many cars got to go to Mass. These ones got to go down south. These ones got to go out west, whatever the case may be. Well, he was by the track. Well, he got hit by a car, one of the freight cars. Fucked his back up. Never went to the doctor. He just got knocked down, but not realizing how much damage it did. Well, he ended up going and getting surgery. Well, they ended up giving him pain medicine. Well, he ended up getting hooked. And when I tell you hooked, he got hooked to where his 30-day script would last him 7 days. I witnessed it with my own two eyes because my man used to live in Pennsylvania, which now he lives in West Virginia. He would put 4, 5, 6 pills in his hand, throw them in his mouth, and down about a glass of fucking Jack Daniels like it was nothing. He got hooked real bad to where the pills weren't doing anything for him anymore. So we went to the street drugs to where he was going into the family safe and pawning off his wife's jewelry and taking money and stuff like that. He went to a rehab and he's clean. He's been clean ever since. And this was when COVID hit. And like he said to me, he goes, it wasn't the pills that he missed the most. It was the alcohol.
Plus, alcohol is more
Hereditary.
than drugs is.
So alcohol can fuck up your life like no tomorrow. Yes, drugs can too. But like I said in the beginning, I wouldn't have went to other shit if I didn't drink. So you know what? That Vivitrol shot, yes, does help me. Is it a cop-out, like some people say?
No, but you did it.
No, but I did it for that. Just to give me that extra support, that extra comfort, knowing that if I want this to work, this is what I have to do. Yes, I could have taken pills. Instead of getting the shot, I'd have to take a pill every day. But this is the catch. If I wanted to drink, I didn't take a pill. So where was that going to help me? But with me being on the shot, I can't drink. I have to, when I go to the store to buy cough medicine, mouthwash, whatever, I have to actually read the fucking label to make sure it has no alcohol, alcohol free. So for people to sit there and say that it's a cop out, that's your opinion. Because the same people that are calling it a cop out, you're an alcoholic. And we all know who I'm talking about. And so doesn't that person. Okay? So, yes, you're addicted to alcohol. You have an addiction. It's no different than Jean. Jean's got an addiction. She's got a shopping addiction. But I'm using Jean for an example because Jean's very quiet sometimes, so I got to pick on Jean once in a while.
But she's got humor though.
But she's got humor. She can joke. But shopping is an addiction. If you have to go shopping all the friggin' time, it's an addiction. So the only way Jean's husband can get her to stop shopping is to gag her, duct tape her mouth, handcuff her, and put her in a closet. That's the only way she can do it. He can do it. I know a guy, his wife had a shopping addiction. Okay. He took every fucking credit card and froze them. Put them in a bucket of water. Well, not a bucket, but a bowl. Filled it with water. Put it in the fucking freezer and froze them. I know, Gene. I was only picking on you, hon. But there's many addictions. Just like gaming.
Especially that Call of Duty bullshit. It actually was a withdrawal when I met him and I pulled away from it.
Yes, September. That's an addiction. I smoke. That's an addiction. Caffeine. That's an addiction.
But like this?
You know, Ro, she likes her tea. That's an addiction. You know, so we all have our own addictions in one way or the other. Many years ago, I'm not going to go many years ago, but many years ago, I had an addiction. Listen, wintertime, snowmobile riding. We traveled. We went anywhere the snow was. I was going for a month straight from home, following the snow. Skiers do it. Snowboarders do it. It's no different than fishing. Fishing is an addiction. You're going to go where the fish are. You know, there's multiple. All day coffee and butts. That's what it is.
Hey, but at least we're not out harming.
I'm not out breaking the law. I'm not out harming anybody else. I'm not out getting in trouble. That's the fever. Oh, that's what that's called, the fever. Yes, I know. That's called the fever. when it comes snowmobile season. But it was no different than boating. You know, all the snow is gone. Now you're waiting for boating. Waiting for them warm days, sunny days, boy, to get on that water. Go flying up and down the river or up and down a lake or all through a lake or whatever. You know, camping. You're camping, you're fishing, you're boating, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, snowmobiling is the fever. I know. I've had that fever ever since I've been 4 years old. Motorcycle riding. You know, you're waiting for the nice weather to get out on that bike, to get that fresh air. So there's many addictions. Some are better than others. Snowmobiling got to be a very, very expensive sport. It got to be a very, very expensive fever. Trust and believe. You know, especially when you have a cousin that goes out and buys brand new sled, and then you go up to his house and you look at it, and then all of a sudden 2 days later you buy one. So yeah, it's an addiction. Gambling is an addiction. My ex-wife, she loved it. She loved it. She loved her pocketbooks. Louis Vuittons, all kinds of crazy shit. You know how many pocketbooks I've bought in? I probably paid for one pocketbook that my ex-wife still has, that Jeanette and Jason wouldn't make in a year. It's an addiction. So whatever you choose to do, just make sure you choose it wisely, because it could eventually become an addiction. We had 15 sleds. The hubby has the fever. Oh, 15 sleds, I bet. At one time, I had 5 just for me. That wasn't including the wife at the time. She had one, and then my son had one. Oh, we have. Jesus Christ, Gene. They have 15 sleds, not had. My cousin's got 6. 3 for him and 3 for his wife.
Henry has a bone addiction.
Huh? Henry has a bone. Really, Selena? What kind of what? Now, whoa, wait. Now, see, here we go. You just turned this right around, Selena. You said Henry has a bone addiction. What kind of addiction does Selena have? Okay. Now you see where this is going, Selena? You just made this turn the opposite way. See, I knew you were the bad influence, Selena. I knew you were. It's an addiction. It absolutely is, Gene. You know, and I you want to know something? The sad thing about it is I don't blame anybody, but the one that I can blame is my father and my grandfather, because they professionally raced snowmobiles back when I was little. So my grandfather and my father's are the ones that got me into snowmobiling, dirt bike riding, and all that. You have an addiction. You have an addiction to seeing Ringo. No Ringo Dingo tonight. Sorry. You were mean to me earlier on the phone. So I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, did you want to announce that she's your mom?
Huh?
You want to announce that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, and just to let everybody know,
You chose.
I chose. I do have an administrating mod, and I do have a managing mod. Actually, I have 2 managing mods. The one managing mod doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, so he's just irrelevant. His name is Edward, Tammy's father. He doesn't know how to use it, but I made him a managing mod. My other managing mod is September Angel.
Welcome aboard.
So welcome aboard, September. And my administrative mod is also September Angel. So she has those 2 titles. And of course, Selena was made a mod. Gene was made a mod. So that's who my administrative mod is, and my managing mod, September Angel. The reason why is because that is one person right there that I can trust. I probably talk more to her in one day than I probably talk to my mother in a month.
The only reason why my dad is because it was accidentally done and we just haven't removed him.
You know more than people think. Mm-hmm. Here we
And
go.
my dad just made it through a major surgery.
Yes. Let's send some hugs and prayers to Ed. He had to go in for surgery this morning. He is home. He is resting. He finally went and had the penis enlargement that he's been wanting for many, many years now. It just sucks that he's at the age of 80 and it's not going to work no more. So I don't even know why he went and had it done.
Oh my God.
You know, but no, with all, oh, see, there's Ed. Boo, everyone, I'm in the bushes. But no, just to let everybody know, Ed had to go in and have his pacemaker, something done with his pacemaker. But he's home, he's resting. So just send him out some prayers and some hugs for me, please.
Love you, Dad.
He's a good guy. We wouldn't want nothing to happen to him. Oh Lord. If nobody sees me around for a while, I probably piss September off and she's blocked me. No. You're good. There ain't no blocking. There's no blocking. My mods know what to do. If my mods want to time somebody out, oh, there he goes. See, starting to shit already. Hey, my lovely Tammy.
Oh, I can't with him.
You know, I was really hoping to have a peaceful night tonight. No, good to see you, Lactose. Oh, it works. I pulled it and stretched it. I bet you did.
Oh my God.
I bet you did, Ed.
My lordy, Dad.
Did you smack it on the sink a couple times?
Oh my God. Hello.
See, I knew this live was going to take a whole turn. But you know what? Since it's taken another turn, let's get on another subject here. Brooks.
And you could just go to your email. She sent it to your email.
Okay.
September.
Brooks. Brooks does some good lives. Regardless of what people think, she does. She does some good lives. Everybody has their different opinion. I don't hate nobody. It's like even as much as I go at Jeanette and Jason, and anybody else, he's 80, not dead, right, Ed? No, he's not 80 though. I think he's going to be 69 or is 69. But he looks like he's 108. But as long as that thing still works, Ed, that's all that matters, huh? September, remember the last time you said that? Hubby and help first, so be careful saying that. Yeah, September, you better be careful saying that shit. But yes, Brooks does some good lives. She covers some shit. And like I said, hate. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody.
No, but we don't
because
like
I go at Jeanette, just because I go at Jason and other ones or whatever the case may be, I don't hate them. I don't hate them. Hate is a very strong word. When you sit there and you tell somebody that you hate them, that hurts their feelings. That does something to them. I disagree with them. Okay. My hubby is 68 soon. Wow. Okay. 69 is always a good number. Really, Lactose? Going to be 70. And yuppers. Yep. Here we go. I knew this was going to take a turn for the worst. But yeah, I don't hate anybody. I dislike shit.
But I hate the situation that Taylor was put into.
Yes, I don't like the situation that Taylor was put in. Just like I'm sure that there's many people on YouTube that don't like situations that they've been put in, in their younger years either. Because from what I can gather and from what I see, there's a lot of people on YouTube that went through a bunch of shit when they were younger, You know, regardless if there's truth to it or not, it's got to be brought out. Truth is always going to be told, is what it comes down to. Regardless of the situation, the truth is always and eventually going to come out.
And it's not a fucking race either.
You know, September, we know you get trigger happy and can't control it sometimes. Oh yeah. Oh, she definitely gets trigger happy. She definitely
She's
does.
gotten better.
She's getting better, a lot better. But this is YouTube. You know, we all have to accept.
Tell September you give her the privilege to do that. She'll know what you're talking about.
What? No, I'm not doing anything yet.
Okay.
What was I saying?
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, it's not Jesus Christ. What was I saying? I'm asking you. I'm asking you what I was saying.
Well, I'm trying to pay attention to that and do this at the same time.
You're doing that. You're doing that, and then you're trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
You're doing three things at once. You see what I deal with, guys? Hate is such a strong word, but love is also a strong word, and both get through around way too much without any real meaning. Yes, very true. Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with the one dog I have.
Yeah, he's not lying.
You know, the dog can be awesome. He can follow me around.
They both
be good all day.
Other, that's the thing.
And then all of a sudden, boom, he turns to be a dick. You know, truth will set you free. Yes. I wish no ill will on anyone, but I've got no use for others who do. Very true. Very true. The truth will set you free. Free unless you become a jailbird telling your truth. Or you can become a jailbird touching your fucking ankles. You'll definitely get the truth then, huh? You know, and I'm not just, I'm not going to just sit here and talk about Taylor. I'm talking about all children. You know, because I'm sure there are children out there, or even adults, per se, that haven't been able to tell their story.
I was just about to say that.
You know, and it's sad because do I consider myself an advocate? No. Did I go to school for it? No. Am I a psychologist? No. Far fucking from it. You wouldn't want to come sit with me for an hour because you're definitely going to want to go to the bar afterwards. I'm the type of person to where I feel that children don't ask to be brought into this world. Okay. We choose to bring them in here. Or what some people may say, oops, it happened. Who gets the shitty end of the stick? The child. You know, and it's a shame. It truly is. So, with that, okay, and I'm going to use this, so just bear with me for a minute. So, a child growing up goes through trauma. That trauma can lead to what? Addiction. So, a lot of the people that I see on a daily basis during the week probably have gone through some kind of trauma that has been very devastating to them. That's actually scarred them. And that's why they went to addiction, because they thought that was the easiest way out or how to deal with that trauma. And which I see. Children should never be harmed, especially by their own parents or their significant other. And it happens more often than not and need awareness. Absolutely, Lactose. I agree. I agree. We do, though, listen to you for your 4 hours. Laugh out loud. You're a good team. Listen, and I love doing this shit. I really do. And I don't want to. People always think it can't happen to me or mine, but it does. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's the thing, Lactose. You know, people say, "Oh, it can't happen to me or mine."
I said that.
You know, and it does. You know, and it's sad. It does. I don't. You know, yeah. When I first started this YouTube shit, you know, yeah, it was about the drama, and it's just getting old.
Not getting old. It's getting ugly.
Well, it's getting old, but it's getting uglier. Each day, it's getting uglier. You know. Look at Lactose. Lactose, you better go to bed. Where's the wife? Where's the wife? Be right back on. I'm going to go make me some macaroni salad and gravy. Oh my God, macaroni salad. Just macaroni salad. Don't put the gravy on it.
That's been him.
Oh my God.
He even used to make that in the restaurant.
That's nuts. You know, but I don't know. I mean, we all have a Boober and Tammy addiction. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm trying to seduce Tammy and no. Listen, no. I'll turn the camera off. You better behave.
I guess I'm gonna have to straighten my hair, put a little bit of eye makeup on.
Oh boy. Get her in a G-string. You'll get more out of her than I will. Jesus Christ, Lactose. You ought to see her some mornings when she wakes up. Hair all out the hair. Glasses all cockeyed.
But bottom line is, it doesn't matter.
Don't let her tell you that she hasn't fallen asleep with the glasses on.
You know, I'm getting sick and tired of the back and forth stuff about what should be done and how it should be done and who should have control over. Bottom line is, if you want to donate money to help her get this in the rolling ballpark, go for it. Anybody that's trying to discourage her, go fuck yourself.
Who you growling at?
We're going to be putting information up. If people want to donate, that's phenomenal. And if not, it is what it is. Go donate to someone else then.
You know what? I like coming up here. I like chit-chatting with everybody. I love, I love every one of you. You know, I love joking around with you. We have some good conversations. We have good jokes. You know, we come out with some crazy shit, you know, especially Lactose. No, Tammy, you are gorgeous. You have natural beauty and don't need makeup.
Why don't I just
Boy, you are a fucking ass kisser, Lactose. That's because she falls asleep on YouTube. Laughed my fucking ass off. Your father said that. You hear me?
Oh, I fell asleep?
Yep. Your dad said that's because she falls asleep on YouTube.
Well, no, I got my new laptop now, so I got that now.
But we do. We come on here. We have a good time. Yes, we can do serious shit. And we do. I'm just good with that going back and forth bullshit, honestly. You know, like I said, we could sit here, each YouTuber can sit here and pick each other apart. What's the sense? What's the means for it? You know? You know, the difference between what I've done and what they do is your children, they're adults. My children are adults. But where I have a problem is when you bring my 2-year-old granddaughter into it. Don't be hateful because I have a relationship with my grandkids and you don't have a relationship with yours. And until you can prove me different, shut your fucking mouth. That's the way I look at it. I'll donate again. I'm caring for 2 boys without any help, per se, 1 in a wheelchair, full-time. Oh, that sucks.
Yes, we're gonna put up
I'm
not
gonna
only
put
the
up. Yeah,
Cash App bullshit that people want to question, whatever. But hey, if you don't feel comfortable doing it that way, we have another way,
we
and
have
that's
another
to
way.
the
And that's
lawyers.
to the lawyer itself. Hey, I like a little
Shush.
ass or a big ass. I don't discriminate. Chris, who you growling at, buddy? Huh? Who you growling at, Chris? No one's here, man. Bandit, stop. He can come see Dad.
And this ain't a competition. You know what? She stepped up to offer what she could for that girl, and I give her all the props for that.
Gene, I'm sorry, huh? He's a good boy, huh? Lay down, buddy.
And I know how to ask the right questions, and I know how to go about certain things to find out who was really there for her. And now I got all my answers that I've been waiting for.
Good boy. No,
I'm still going to be there for her regardless.
make a good boy. Bandit needs a bone. What do you mean Bandit needs a bone?
I'm going to tell them right now how many bones we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
And there's some in the living room. There's probably some in our bedroom.
7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3.
There's probably a couple over the porch.
We have over 40 bones.
Over 40 bones. So, yeah, Bandit needs a bone? Mm-hmm. Sure he does. And then there's all kinds of treats up in the cabinet. They don't need a bone. So, yeah, I will definitely put up all the information for Miss Taylor.
And I don't believe in this backstabbing bullshit crap either.
I'm going to step up. I'll support it. I'm going to step away from it for a little while because it's just getting to be, if it's a competition, Tammy, you won hands down, especially the beauty and brains categories of the company. You listen.
Well, he's being honest.
Listen.
He's being honest.
You are the biggest fucking kiss ass I've ever fucking met. You get the number one fucking spot for kiss ass. Okay, Lactose? But yeah, I mean, just sometimes you just got to step back and just observe. And that's what I think I'm going to do.
And not only that, people that are trying to discourage her, you're just as much of a piece of shit as Jason is.
You know, I don't have time for backstabbing shit now. No, me either. Selena, Robbie needs a bone before I take his one. Shit, Lactose, you're something else. Where's the wife? Seriously, where's the wife? Listen, Selena, don't laugh. Don't feed into his bullshit. What's this, gang up on Robbie night or what? I thought we were all friends here.
Where's Ro when you need
I don't have to kiss ass. I'm just being honest. Yeah. Oh, Ro's in the bushes. Ro's in the bushes. You know, and my heart goes out to Ro tonight also, for the fact is because I heard earlier that she found out some shit and it's not sitting well with her. So I believe Selena knows about it. Shitty thing to do from my understanding from what happened. But there's not much that we can do. But just be there for Ro is what we can do. You know. There she is. I knew she'd be here. I knew she was in there somewhere. Yeah, nothing like that was directed towards you at all, bro. But yes, like I said, Ro did hear some bullshit today, and it wasn't good. And I agree with Ro, so just, I guess it is.
Fucking Selena.
What is Boober barking for a bone? Not bad.
She fits right in.
Really, Selena? I'm going to put this out right now. I'm not a backstabber, and I don't play sides. I don't play sides either. I don't. That's why I
we
gotta.
just get a little confused sometimes.
No, just scream at her. That's the thing to do. Scream at who? Oh, scream at Selena? All right, we'll scream at Selena.
No, I just don't let people try to get one over on me. And I knew that's exactly what was happening.
I'm just staying close to you, Robbie, so I can stay close to Tammy. Listen, what's the deal with the Robbie shit? My mother-in-law, God rest her soul, she was the only one that called me Robbie. Oh, my brother-in-laws, my two brother-in-laws called me Robbie.
Lactose is the first one that called me Robbie.
And you're the first one that on here that called me Robbie. Feel fucking privileged. No, just scream at her. That's the thing to do. I mean, no, I wouldn't scream at you, bro. I'm not going to scream at you. I have no reason to scream at you. I wouldn't scream at you anyway, because, see, you're the type of person, Ro, honestly, no bullshit. You're the type of person to where I could call and talk to and have an adult conversation with and get to the bottom of something. And that's the way it should be. There should be no yelling, no screaming. No. Tammy's just loud.
I've been like that my whole life.
Yeah, and probably her father could tell you to I agree with it, that she's been loud.
Most of my problem is I have ear issues. So
listen, with some of the shit you're coming out with, Selena, I agree with you 100%. I love hanging out, listening to all of you when you're live.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate that. I greatly appreciate it. No, he came in first thing.
Oh. Well, I remember him at the beginning, but not before.
Same September, I value many lots. Many lots for many reasons. And the hate isn't one. No. How about that? Yeah. Well, I like Robbie, and everyone else has called you Robert, Boober, Rob, Bobby, but no one else has called you Robbie. Oh, lactose.
Oh, Robbie.
You see what I deal with? I just don't deal with it from lactose. I deal with it from Tammy. I think you guys are hooking up behind my back. I think that she's out on runs. Yeah, okay. I think she's going to see lactose. Well, she did say. I believe I did read that message.
I don't know if was he in here for that.
I don't know. Here, hold on.
Now, mind you, I talk and text because I'm driving. I don't know if I'll be able to get in there now. Huh? If not, I have it.
You might have to go in there and get it.
Hey, Rob, I'm going here.
Who's that?
No, there it is. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, open that up.
Oh, shit. Hold on, I'll have to snapshot it and then.
What, Fluffy? Hi, BB.
I don't give a fuck.
What?
It's Casey's name.
It's all right. Robbie is a pervert sometimes. I'm a pervert sometimes? Really? Now, lactose. This is what Tammy messages me one day. Hey, Rob.
I meant to do you, but I didn't do
She goes, "Hey, Rob, I'm going to stop and get sex. And then I'm going to see if I can get one more, and then I'll be home." That's what she messaged me.
And that was an accident because I text and talk.
Tammy,
I
don't
was
yawn
trying
so
to tell him I
wide.
was
Robbie
trying to
might
get
get
one more
nasty
run.
ideas in his head for my woman. Oh my God. It's not your woman. It's my woman. All right, you might have to go get one of those puppies so I can put a smile on everybody's face.
Yeah. Get you a black one and that one. They're starting to walk around a lot more.
Oh yeah. BB, you got to stay in here, BB. This guy's gonna whoop your ass. Ace, Ace, come here, come here, come up here, come up here, Ace, Ace.
This one's gonna be cool colored.
Who's that?
It's like the light brownish kind of silver one.
That's a little male. Look, Angel.
They turn black.
That lady and her cult group over there are always on some hate back and forth and not dealing with the things that she subjected her daughter to. I'm Team Taylor, and I am happy to say so.
Very true.
Thank you very much.
Couldn't have said it better.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Well, you know,
Look
everybody's
at
got their
that,
opinions
Angel.
about what Brooks is
It just
doing,
worried
but
me when she yawned because you might try and take advantage of her. Really? That's what we're doing.
and he's not really black. He's got more. He's kind of like
It's kind of like
it's weird.
like a, I don't know, like a brownish, silverish. Wow, 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 wow.
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. That's cute though.
All right, and then there's Ringo. Say hi, Ringo. Say hi, everybody.
He's got his eye open.
Say hi, everybody.
Okay, he wants to cuddle. I'm gonna cuddle.
I was here that night. She texted that, and she don't have to pick that up because I'll bring it to her.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep, this is my puppy. This is my puppy Ringo. Yeah, Brooks is good, Jane. Brooks is good. Oh, that's a baby, huh? Is that a baby, Ace? Huh? Is that a baby? Say hi to the baby, Tor. Say hi to the baby. Yeah, that's a baby. You smiling? Are you smiling? Are you smiling? You smiling at the baby? You smiling? She didn't fail. I'm Team Boober and Tammy and
I
the
didn't
rest
see
of you.
anybody else ever step up like that.
If he's weird, Tammy, why do you stay with him? What do you mean I'm weird?
Can't judge a book by its cover. I go chapter to chapter till I get to the end of the book, and then I'll quit. Oh, he's starting to cuddle more now.
I don't know. I don't know. Miss Snow Angel, September Angel. He's going to become my buddy.
You know what? I've noticed a lot of competition with a lot of creators, and that's the pathetic part of it.
Hi, mush, mush. Hi, mush, mush. Hi, mush, mush. Hi, mush, mush. Hi, little man. All right. Tammy said he's a little weird. No, Tammy didn't say I was a little weird. Is that your baby? Is that your baby? Is that your son? Are those your two boys? Huh? Are those your two boys? Yeah. Those your boys? Yeah, those your boys, huh? Yeah. Those are your boys, huh? Those are your baby boys? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I wasn't going to make this a long live tonight. I just figured I'd come on here
Do the email.
and chit chat, but let me get in here for a minute. Let me see
Yeah,
what
just
I
give
can.
us a sec. We're
Let me
gonna
see
show something.
Let me see what I can pull up here. Where do I go? Gmail. I got it right here. The fuck is that?
That's the lawyer's office. Should be able to go over that. I'm not sure.
She might have to do it differently.
If anything, show it, and then I'll post it on your wall. Just say this is what it's going to look like. You'll post it on your wall. That's the Cash App.
Yeah, but people are gonna not like that.
But that's why we're giving them both the
yeah.
info. They can still hear you when you're in that. Right?
I know.
Oh,
I
was
can.
just wondering before I said something.
Bum, 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 bum. That's the Cash App. That's right there.
And if you guys don't feel comfortable doing it that way, you can actually send it to the lawyer's office.
Yep. In which the lawyer's office is. Which enables the Zoom. Wow.
I know there's a way you can do it, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I have no fucking clue.
What we'll do is we'll post them on his wall.
Yeah, I'll just post them on my wall. That way everybody can see them. But that's what, yes, very true, Lactose. I stand with Taylor also. Tammy said he's a little weird. It's hard, Tammy. Seriously, I'm going to cry. Don't take my... What are you going to cry for? Technically, by law, it's still my puppy. Or maybe Chico. That's kind of cute, and he looks like a Chico. No, it was, or he was, which one? The little black one? I got my eyes on a female one. I'm going to call her Gigi. But yes, we all stand with Taylor, and I think she knows that.
And if people don't like the way that Brooks is doing it, that's on you. It's not a fucking competition.
Well, it's not a competition. It's just people got to understand that Brooks is doing it for Taylor,
And maybe save another kid.
Yep. My wife don't allow me to have access to our account. Otherwise, I would have already sent Tammy a bus ticket or maybe a limo. Listen.
He's fucking too much.
If I don't drink after these lives, I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I stand for Taylor. Yes, absolutely.
And I hope she does push through with this because she'll become out a whole totally different, better person.
We just have to stand behind Taylor. That's what it comes down to. She needs all the support she can get. Yes, I might disagree with a couple people, maybe even a couple of my mods or whatever case may be. We all have our own opinion on different things. Do I dislike people on my mod list? No, I don't. I'm not normally much of a chatter. I'm normally in the bushes, but I watch you faithfully. Well, make sure you all hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs button. Tammy deserves a limo ride here to her real home where I can take care of her like the queen she is. And what, you don't think I take care of her? Oh, this gentleman. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I've been on here a little bit over an hour. I'm going to make another cup of coffee, get my dog settled down, get the puppy situated, do a couple things in the house real quick, and set my alarm and get up and go to group in the morning. But hopefully we can, I will post them things to I will post those things to my wall. Tammy's going to take care of that right now. So please go on there if you can donate. But definitely, I definitely got, Taylor's back. I'm definitely going to support her.
I love you, Taylor.
Taylor, you deserve to
Be
be
free.
to tell your story, and
Stop
get
being a prisoner to everybody else.
and get justice for yourself. You're just not going to, you're just not doing it for yourself, but you're going to, you might touch another child. You might help another child and not know that. So with that being said, everybody, you all have a good night.
Love
God
y'all.
bless you. Love you all. Thank you for coming in. And go check out my wall and you will see the info there. Okay? All right, guys. Good night. Enjoy your evening. Kiss your loved ones. Stay warm.